Matt Miguez has plenty on his mind, and he's ready to share it with the world. It's time to hear the Miguez Mindset.
Welcome into another edition of the Miguez Mindset. Matt Miguez here on a Wednesday as we get closer and closer to football season. Right around the corner. College games kick off this coming Saturday with Notre Dame and Navy in Dublin, Ireland. And, we'll talk about UL, LSU, and the Saints. Actually, we're going to talk a little bit about the Saints today. We're really just going to sit here and discuss two topics that I've seen on social media over the last couple of days that kind of bug me. And the first one, I'll start with the Saints. There are people that still wish that Jameis Winston would be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. And I just think that is insane. Look, Jameis Winston, when he came into the league, he took the league by storm. He had a great rookie year. He had a good run with Tampa. Then obviously, he had that season where he goes 30-30. And then he comes to the Saints and he spends some time as Drew Brees' backup, learns quite a bit, and was destined to be the starter last season until he got hurt. And when he got hurt, he struggled to get back on the field. The coaching staff just decided to roll with Andy Dalton, and Jameis Winston never really panned out, right? And now you bring in Derek Carr, a 32-year-old that, yes, he's played for a poverty franchise that is the Las Vegas Raiders, but has put up great numbers throughout his entire career. Why would Jameis Winston be the starting quarterback over Derek Carr? People love to look at Derek Carr and go, well, he's never won a playoff game. That's not an individual issue. That's a team issue. People like to put that on the quarterback, and that's not how that works. Just because he's never won a playoff game doesn't mean that is 100% his fault and he's a terrible quarterback. Because in his career, playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Carr has a completion percentage of 65%, 35,222 yards, 217 touchdowns, 99 interceptions. He's led 28 comebacks. He's led 33 game-winning drives. He averages 7.1 yards per attempt. All the statistics. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler with the Raiders. If that doesn't tell you that the guy is a good quarterback and can win you football games when he is with the right offense and the right weapons around him, I'm not sure what does. What more do you want to see out of the guy that 100% he can control? He's got a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's huge. Most NFL teams would kill to have a quarterback with those kinds of numbers. And the Saints got him for, in today's NFL, a bargain. 4 years, $150 million for a quarterback. Not a lot anymore. It's just not. So I think the Saints made a great decision going to get Derek Carr. Obviously, we'll see how well it plays out on the field in the regular season. But looking at him in camp, looking at him in that one preseason drive that he had, he looks good. He looks like he understands the offense. He's making the right decisions. He's going through his progressions. It makes sense for him to be leading this New Orleans Saints offense. And he's with the head coach that drafted him. Now, regardless of how you feel about Dennis Allen, I'm not the biggest Dennis Allen fan either. I think I've made that pretty well known. But if it works, it works. So we'll see what happens later on this season. The other thing that I wanted to get to is the Houston Astros. And I'm really just voicing frustration here with the Houston Astros. You come home, I should say, to host a divisional rival in the Seattle Mariners, and you lose all 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and put yourself in a hole. Well, here's what's frustrating. While you're putting yourself in a hole, the Texas Rangers are helping you dig out of it. The Texas Rangers are now on a 6-game losing streak after getting swept by the Brewers, and then dropping 2 straight to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So the Astros have rebounded and have won the last 2 nights over the Boston Red Sox. But if you would have won just 1 game against Seattle, you have a lead in the division. So the thing that sticks out to me is, and I've seen people post on Twitter, especially Monday night, and I'm not sticking this out at just one person. It was multiple people that I saw talking about this. Oh man, the Diamondbacks aren't doing us any favors. You didn't do yourself a favor. And first of all, that didn't age well because the Diamondbacks did end up doing you a favor. They walked it off. But the point still stands. You can't call out another team for not helping you when you can't even help yourself. Again, the Astros win one of those games against Seattle. They're first place in the division right now. So you can't really point the finger at somebody else, again, when you can't take care of your own business. But the Astros have rebounded nicely, winning 2 straight, like I said, against the Boston Red Sox. They've got another one tonight at 7:10. So you look at the standings in the AL East, the Boston Red Sox 11.5 games out of the Baltimore Orioles, and the New York Yankees 17 games back. They are on a 9-game losing streak. They have a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. If you look at the AL West, the Rangers have a half-game lead on the Astros. The Mariners just a half-game behind them. Those 3 teams have pretty good odds to all 3 make the playoffs. 65% and above for all 3, the Mariners, the Astros, and the Rangers. In the National League, it's the Braves world, and everybody's just living in it. 81-44 on the season. They have a 12.5 game lead on the Philadelphia Phillies. And what's crazy is they have a 12.5 game lead on the Phillies. The Phillies are going to make the playoffs. Right now they're sitting at 88% to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. So the fact that you have a 12.5 game lead on a team that is basically locked for the playoffs goes to show you just how impressive that you have been. The Milwaukee Brewers lead the NL Central with a 3.5 game lead on the Cubs. And then in the NL West, it is the Dodgers, 76-48. They have an 11.5 game lead on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Surprise, surprise that the Padres are in 4th. I've said this all along. Everybody talks about, the roster. They have Juan Soto. They have Fernando Tatis. They have Xander Bogaerts. They have all these players. Yeah, well, and what do they do with it? Year in and year out, they come up with these great free agent acquisitions, and everybody in the offseason goes, oh, look out for the Padres. The Padres can contend, blah, blah, blah. They don't. They never do. They collapse, just like the Rangers are starting to do in the AL West. The Padres will never be, I'm not going to say never. The Padres will always struggle to be that team. It's just not who they are. So we'll see how the MLB races play out as we have just about a month left to go in that season. Camps wrapping up for college football. Both Louisiana and LSU are in their final weeks of camp, as both teams will play their first regular season game next weekend. The Cajuns are at home to host Northwestern State on Saturday, while LSU will travel to Orlando, Florida, to play Florida State next Sunday in the Camping World kickoff. But again, college football gets underway this Saturday, 3 days away, as Notre Dame and Navy will kick off in Dublin, Ireland, and then USC plays the nightcap with San Jose State. That's going to do it for today's edition of the Miguez Mindset. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, making one final push for subscribers before the college football season. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 before next weekend. And also make sure you follow us on social media as well. TikTok, X, Facebook, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff at ESPN_SWLA. And we'll be back on Friday talking more college football and getting you set for the 2023 season right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.